I think. Yeah, twice. And so on the way in, I just put in the GPS to come to the town, and then I was like, wait a second, I don't even know where we're going. So I was like, what's your address? So we're happy to be here. Whoa. Leave her alone. Give her that ball. There you go. Took care of that. I had a brother. Oh, I still do. He's good. He's still around. Well, my name is Cassie. This is my husband, Ben, and we're Goldpine. We're from Nashville, Tennessee. We are in the middle of, we've only got like 4 shows left, and then we're playing a songwriter festival, and then we'll head home for a couple days. So this run that we've been on will be 70 days. Crazy, right? We travel around in our van that Ben converted into a tiny home, and it's awesome. And we have a home in Nashville. That's usually what people always want to know, and we do have one. But this is a lot of fun, and so I'm grateful we get to do what we love, and it's a new season. I was telling John that we're probably going to do about 200 plus shows this year, but it's a first. So it's a new season, and we're just enjoying the ride. So thank y'all for coming out and sitting out here with us. We'll sing you some songs, and we do Americana music is what we call it, but honestly, we're storytellers, and we love to just be open and honest with our lyrics, and I think that you'll really get to know us by the end of the show. I always say I want people to feel like they read our diary, so we're basically going to be best friends pretty soon. Pretty soon. You could wander away and build yourself some time. Get a monkey off your back. Leave the sorrow on the side. You could speak your mind when your world is given out. Tell them how you feel. Say it all out loud. Ooh. Ooh. You could give some love. It will always be love. When you've got both and the key, give up some of your love. You could turn your eyes from where your trouble was, fix them on a thing. Fall far more glorious. Thank you. I love, I'm sure you can hear them too, but up here I can really hear the crickets real good. It sounds good.
Brings you right back to Alabama.
I know. I'm from Alabama, and that sounds like home to me. The crickets are singing with us. Wait till the lightning bugs come out. Okay. I like that you call them lightning bugs because I feel like I've met a lot of people that call them fireflies. Oh, well, speak of the little things. You call them fireflies here or lightning bug? Who calls them fireflies? That's you're the only one.
That was a great comment right there.
Where are you from? Oklahoma. That's country.
I grew up in Oskaloosa, Iowa, just across the border. We always called them lightning bugs growing up too, so that's what they are.
Yeah, buddy. I like it.
Well, we used to be called by a different name. John almost introduced us by our previous band name, which was My One and Only. But now we're called Goldpine. But you know, sometimes we cover My One and Only songs, and this one was a single of My One and Only's. Let's try this one. This one's with Cassie on the G harmonica.
Yeah, we like that band so much we do their songs now.
Ready?
The third member of our band.
Is it a guy or a girl? This guy had a mouse earlier in the yard, right about back there. Yeah.
And there goes a dog
and
on a
there's
leash.
Somebody's dog with a leash.
But there's nobody with it. It's just running. Not right, meow. All right, T.
This song's called The Straight Line.
You always seem to agree with everyone you meet. Well, you smile and say, oh, I know.
Oh, I know.
Despite some thoughts of your own, fear is a base to behold. You live that way, 'cause you know
it's a lonely place and a long ride. It's a lonely place on the state line. State line, state line.
well, you sure got a lot of friends who won't stand by in the end. You've got so many places to be to keep up your notoriety. Well, you're the star of your own show. You live that way, 'cause you know
It's a lonely place and a long ride. It's a lonely place on the state line. State line, state line. Come on, Cass.
if you wanna live that way, well, it's up to you. But it looks like a dirty hotel room. See, I have rented out that same place. 'cause you know
it's a lonely place, and a long ride. It's a lonely place on the straight line, straight line, straight line.
Thank you. You know, in the middle of that song, I was thinking about Ben and I did an artist in residency for 3 weeks in Marshall County in Kansas, and it was such an amazing experience. We did all kinds of things for the community, with the community, and we got to meet them. And you know, so many times we come into a show, and we play the show, and then we have to get on and get out. And that's just the way it is. You know, that's how our life is. But being able to be there and to know people beyond a handshake and knowing their name and knowing their story and knowing where they worked and how they grew up was such a big deal. And as I was playing this harmonica, it made me think about our friend Tim. We found out today that he passed away today. And when we were playing, and he was an amazing harmonica player. Like, I was embarrassed to play in front of him. I was like, please don't, I'm never going to play in front of you again. But he was the sweetest man ever. And I was on stage we played the Opera House, and I remember I was telling this story when I was playing my G harmonica, and it was at some show, and I was like just getting it, and all of a sudden while I'm playing my solo, I felt something flew in my mouth while I'm playing the thing, and I was like, what the what? And I was like, I'm so dedicated to my fans that I kept singing even though I had part of the harmonica in my mouth. Anyways, I kept going, and at the end of the show, I turned around and I was like, oh my gosh, I just sucked in I could have died, but I was committed to that solo. So he knew the story, and then the next, we literally for 3 weeks, we didn't have any off days. We did something every day with the community, and one of the shows, he showed up, and he brought me this G harmonica. So, yeah, thinking about Tim, wishing I could play like him. I just thought of that. It was just precious. Anyways, it's a beautiful thing getting to know your community, and what you do here, John, is so cool. You know, bringing people together through everyone's love language. You know, music. It's pretty cool. You're all right.
Well, we recorded all the songs. I won't say all the songs we've written, but all the songs in the vinyl are songs we've written, except for one tune. We recorded a cover tune, and this one is it. We'll see if anybody knows who wrote and originally recorded this song. This is their own spin on it. I still miss someone at my door. The leaves are falling. A cold wild wind will come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. I go out on a party and look for a little fun, but I find a darkened corner, 'cause I still miss someone. No, I'll never get over the
No, I'll never get over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we began. There's somewhere for me somewhere, and I still miss someone, and I still miss someone. I still miss someone. Thank you. Does anybody know who did that originally? Yes, Johnny Cash.
Nice.
Boy, we get some interesting answers on that one. But y'all know.
Well, we hung out under the food tent for the entire hour before the concert started. We were just waiting for the new food to come in.
It's true.
Some of you didn't bring any food, so thank you. But we had the opportunity to talk to a lovely couple over there who is farmers. And as I mentioned, I grew up in Oskaloosa, Iowa, and all my family lives there, and also Ottumwa, Iowa. My dad's been a golf professional all my life, and he's the golf professional at Cedar Creek Golf Course in Ottumwa, Iowa now, and has been for the last 20 years. But my mom's side of the family, her dad was a farmer in small town Iowa, and the farm was handed down to him from his father. But my grandfather, it didn't take long for him to realize that he didn't like farming whatsoever. And so he sold the family farm back in the early 60s and moved to Omaha, Nebraska to be an electrician. And it wasn't long ago that my mom sent all of us kids, I've got 2 older brothers, she sent us the copy of that farm for sale sign that my grandfather made back in the 60s when he sold that farm. And it's hanging in our kitchen in Nashville. And it's got a lot of cool things written on that poster, like how many head of good cattle and good sheep were for sale, and the kind of machinery that was for sale, the exact driving directions to this farm sale in rural Iowa. And Cash and I were sitting down to write a song a while back, and we thought we would write a song from my mother's perspective. Now, I've never worked on a farm one day in my life. There was a lot of people in high school that during the summers they detasseled corn. Anybody detasseled corn before? I don't even know what that means. But this is my farm song. This is from my mom's perspective. It's called Lost and Found. It was 1961. I was staring out into those snow-white fields. That December cold was seeping through the cracks of window seats. I can still feel the calloused hands that brought this child upon this very land. And I can hear the hum of harvesters every time I think of my granddad. Well, my father never asked for this. A generation said it was his lot. So from morning sun he'd till the field, but to call himself a farmer he would not. That winter eve I looked out as he drove that for sale sign in the ground. And as I stood there watching him, my tears that fell down didn't make a sound. But sometimes when something is lost, for someone else it's found. I can understand how to sacrifice yourself for someone else. This life is made of seasons, and some of them don't really suit us well. We sold that farm in the Midwest and settled down in northern Omaha. Dad, he picked up steel-toed boots and never put his head back on the plow. Sometimes when something is lost, for someone else it's found. My father learned the weight of laying down to rest his youngest son. And someday I will give my brother's name to one of my own children. I saw Jesus on the city bus, and I told him I was alright for now. I had plans for the next few years, and we both knew that I was nowhere bound. Sometimes when something is lost, for someone else it's found. Thank you. Well, I've been lonely a long, long time, but now lonely is no friend of mine. I've said things that I don't mean, seen a lot of things should have never said, but those things I cannot change. My mistakes, learn to give and not just take. It's the bet I made.
think it through. What else is there for me to do? Those days went on so long. There's one thing that's for sure, couldn't live there anymore. Well, that time has come and gone. Oh, I've been lonely a long, long time, but now lonely is no friend of mine. No, 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 no. I've been lonely a long, long time, but now lonely is no friend of mine. I left that town and I won't look back, like a train moving on down the track with a destiny. When you finally get your hands on that key, see what took so long to see. Well, the truth will set you free. Oh, I've been lonely a long, long time, but now lonely is no friend of mine. But now lonely is no friend of mine. Mine. Thank you. So when people come to our shows that have seen us before, they always ask for this song, but they always call it by the wrong name. And I'm like, that's not the name of it, but they argue that it should be. So fair enough. You got to listen to the people. But it's not that easy to change a song title. So anyways, I heard about this contest that a Canadian product. We have any Canadians? Cool. It's always the same
Crickets.
answer. No. Oh, crickets. Exactly. So it was this Canadian product called Halsa. And they wanted a songwriter to write a song for their product, and you were going to win some money. And they wanted you to write about what love meant to you. Because what love meant to Halsa was all natural, super clean, organic ingredients in their yogurt. And I was like, we can write a love song about yogurt.
We love yogurt.
Now that I'm 40, probiotics are my friends. Okay? So I do love yogurt. And you youngins, it'll catch up with you, so eat yogurt. But anyway, so we wrote this song about love and our love for yogurt. May you never eat it the same. I've been walking with my feet in the air. I've been finding something righteous up there. It's something that I never knew before, darling. Naturally, I'm yours. Don't even care if they all understand that I've been flaking out on all my plans. I hear my baby knocking on my door, darling. Naturally, I'm yours. When you look me in the eyes, I never felt so satisfied. comes the naturally. Oh, 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 oh. When you look me in the eyes, I never felt so satisfied. How long will it take for you to realize? Well, it's plain to see. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. Yogurt. Thank you. I recently have started, saying the thing about the probiotic thing, and I'll talk about it later more. Why I've all of a sudden started liking that. But we just played the Red Lodge Songwriter Festival in Montana, and we did 6 shows there in 3 days. And this group of people kind of followed us around to every show that we played, and they were so sweet. And at the end, the husband came up. He said, "Now look, I don't know how serious you are about this probiotic thing." I said, "Oh, I'm serious. I'm serious." And he said, "Okay, we have a company, and we're going to send you some." And I was like, "Okay." So when we get home in a couple weeks, I'm going to have hopefully a lot of probiotics sitting on the front porch. Sometimes in Nashville, and we live in kind of a sketchy neighborhood. We like it that way. But sometimes your packages get stolen, and I tell you what, when they get that one, they're going to be highly disappointed. Like, yes, they've been leaving it on the front. What is probiotics? Then hopefully they return it. Can't sell that. I could.
Well, let's play a love song.
Okay.
This song's on the vinyl over here. It's a song called About My Baby. I usually tell a certain story about this, but I'm going to skip to another story. I'm practicing telling different stories.
Oh.
So, it's important. I remember we had this van right here, and, that's what we live in on the road. But the first time we ever went and traveled into Arizona, we had our first experience staying on BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. And basically, you can stay out there in an RV or a car 14 days at a time. And then you just got to move spots. And then you can stay another 14 days. And then you move spots again. And you can stay another 14 days. And so on. And it's all free. And they don't build anything out there. And it's in Arizona. It's like near Sedona. And so it's real dark out there. And our first experience staying on BLM land. And I didn't have both solar panels on top of this van like I do now. And so there was a space at the back of the van. And we were on the land at night, and we climbed up on the roof of the van. And I'll never forget, it was just one of the coolest experiences. It was so dark out there, we could see all the stars. And we played this game where you got a point for every satellite that you saw go across the sky. And there was just so many satellites, and we saw shooting stars out there. And even where shooting stars at 2 points, yeah. And even hearing coyotes in the distance, like whatever noise they make, wailing out there. It was just quite the experience for us. Usually we're staying in like a pilot parking lot where there's a guy in a Honda Civic right next to us with his sub up as loud as he can, and his trunk is just rattling off its hinges. So it was pretty cool to stay out on BLM land.
Yeah.
The second verse on this song is kind of about that. That was a good time. This started as a homemade Valentine's Day card to Cassie, And now is a song on the record over here. It's called About My Baby. I love her down in San Antone and on the Gulf of Mexico, in the markets of Santa Fe, and on the peaks of Colorado.
Love him in Sedona, saying stars from the top of the van with a cowboy mariachi band out there on the federal land.
There ain't no other way to say. There ain't no other way to say the way I feel about my baby. I love her in a long black dress. I love her in a queen-size bed, burning by the TV light in the middle of a motel mess. I love her by the light of the stage and the way she knows everyone's name. I love her when she shows out. I love her when she hides away. There ain't no other way to say. There ain't no other way to say. There ain't no other way to say the way I feel about my baby. I love my baby here and there. I think I love her everywhere.
Thank you.
One, two, three, four. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. Hey, I'm going to Jackson. I'm gonna mess around. Yeah, I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson Town.
We'll go down to Jackson. Go ahead and wreck your health. Go play your hand big, talking man, and make a big fool of yourself. But ain't going down to Jackson. Let's call your name. But ain't going down to Jackson. See if I can.
Well, when I'm preaching gonna stoop and bow. All of them, they're gonna make me teach them what they don't know how. Hey, I'm going to Jackson to turn loose my coat. Hey, I'm going to Jackson. Goodbye was all she wrote.
They'll laugh at you down in Jackson, and I'll be dancing on a pony cake. They'll lead you around town like a scandaled hare with your tail tucked between them legs. Honey, going down to Jackson, you big talking man. I'll be waiting here in Jackson, but how much they pay the fare?
We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. Hey, I'm going to Jackson. Hey, girl, you know that's a fact. Yeah, you know I'm going to Jackson. It never coming back. Let's do it again, come on. 1, 2, 3. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. Hey, I'm going to Jackson. Hey, girl, you know that's still a fact. It is. I'm going to Jackson.
Ain't never coming back. No, no, no. Thanks, y'all. That's a new song we wrote. I think it's gonna be a real hit. Just kidding. So, we don't normally put this song in our set, but we need to practice this song because it's not often that we sing this song, but we aren't allowed to say, but we got an email and we are going to be singing the national anthem at an NFL football game this season. And so we are really excited and we were really shocked. But we're not allowed to announce it yet, but it is, what is it? I don't know. I can't announce which team and game. Oh, yeah, you're right. I did just announce it. I can't say what team. That's what
It's one of the states in the inland United States.
Oh, yeah. But it is this year, and we are honored and excited. So I told Ben 70,000 people is a lot of people to sing in front of. And so we need to sing this every time we have the opportunity. Yeah. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the pale perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, Thank you. It's not that team. Yeah, we're really excited and honored. And we also, when we go home in a couple weeks and we're singing the national anthem at the Nashville Sounds game. So we go home for that, and then we'll be back on the road. But anyways.
Well, while we're practicing songs, let's practice another song here. Oh. We just came out with a brand new single yesterday, and it's the first single off our upcoming album, and the song is called "Do You Have Me?" It's funny, you know, different musicians have different ideas of when to play songs. Like, we know some people who right when they write a song, they're playing it out whether they've recorded it or not. And then some people will wait until like the album is out on Spotify or whatever to play that song. And this is like one of the few times we've actually waited until it was released to sing this song.
It's the first time.
And so we recorded this a year ago and just started playing it. So we'll see how this one goes. This is our brand new single.
Yeah, last time was the first time I'd ever sang it. So it's on all your streaming platforms, and you can get it anywhere for free.
I got troubles on my mind. Well, I got a river a mile wide. You call me up on the telephone, but you only call 'cause you're all alone. Hey, I got a few troubles of my own. You say, hey, have you, well, is that what you meant? Do I have you, or do you I can punch above my weight. I can hold on to the place. You don't even see it now, but someday it's gonna come falling out, and you ain't even ready for the final hour. Sing, have you, well, is that what you meant? Do I have you, or do you You can meet me, you can stay. Change gonna come either way. You can meet me, you can stay. Change gonna come either way. You can meet me, you can stay. Change gonna come either way. You say I have you, well, is that what you meant? Do I have you, or do you
Thanks, y'all. We shot a video for that one too, and you can see it on all. Or if you go to our website, you can see it. It's a fun song. I was wondering if I was ever going to be able to hit those notes. So we've been on tour since the second week of May, And this time around, we went all the way up to, we went to Montana. And this was our first time to play this festival. And the way that we got to Montana is this song that we're about to sing for y'all. Last year, we entered this song in a songwriting contest, and we were completely shocked when they called us and we got selected as a finalist. And so they picked 20 people, and the 20 people could come to the festival, and then you would perform one song. You had to be there at 9 a.m. You got paid nothing, and it was a 25-hour drive. And we were like, oh yeah, we're going. There was no thinking about it. So we routed our entire tour, and we ended in Montana. And we got there the night before, and we slept in the parking lot of their grocery store. And we got there, and we got up there, and we sang this song, and we shared our story. And would you believe that we won the entire thing? It was really cool. It made that 25-hour drive home a lot better. But so we were asked to come back this year, and we got to play and actually get paid, and that was nice. And we got to judge the songwriting contest, and that was fun. But the reason why I feel like that so many people connect with this song is because it's about my mom. And you know, there's nothing like a mama's love. And my mom was sick for about 3 years, and she was such a fighter, and she fought all the way to the end. And I was just looking at the date. It'll be 2 years that she's passed away next week. And man, it just left this big old hole in my heart and in my life. And I miss her so much because she was so awesome, and we were so close. But one of the last times that she was in the hospital, we wrote this song for her, and we went back up to the hospital and played it for her so she got to hear it. It was her favorite song. And it was an honor to go to this place, this festival, and share her story and talk about her, because she'll live on forever, you know, through me and my music. But she was something special. And so this song is going to be on our next album that comes out in September. And honestly, we've already recorded it as My One and Only, but we re-recorded it. We did it a little different. And this time, Ben put my daddy's banjo on there. My dad passed away when I was 19, and so my mama gave me his guitars and banjos, and Ben put his banjo on there, and it's a song about my mama, so there's a lot of love packed in that song. But this song is my mama's song, and I'm missing her today and every day, honestly, but this is called My Favorite Parts of You. It was Saturday at the Conoco. You were in the back cutting checks for payroll. I was counting up some play money, pretending I was answering on your phone. Would lock it up for the night, said you wouldn't be back till Monday morning light. And all the way you let me steer while I was on the passenger side. See, I've been watching you, and I've been thinking it too. How all the best parts of me are my favorite parts of you. The sound of your screen door closing brings me back to a table overflowing with large elbow mac and cheese and southern boiled pinto beans. All the pots and pans just a soaking. You turned and asked me what I think. Did I maybe want some unsweet tea to drink? You fill my glass up to the top, and I go and grab the lemon by the sink. See, I've been watching you. I've been thinking into how all the best parts of me are my favorite parts of you. And all the things I do, they remind me of you. All the best parts of me are my favorite parts of you. All the best parts of me are my favorite parts of you. Thank you.
Well, here's a short little sweet song for you. This is for all of us who've ever found ourselves coming into a situation a little too hot. This is a song on the record over here. It's called I Brought a Knife. I brought a knife to a fist fight you never know till it's to the wire. They were all satisfied with white knuckles and black eyes, slapping a man up to dry. But someone caught the blade and the whole thing went insane. And I won't be invited back next time. I brought a knife. I brought a knife. I brought a knife. I brought a knife.
Thank you. Yeah, so like Ben said, that's on our CD. And we also have vinyl. We have about, 10 left. That's one of the deep cuts, though. Okay, it's okay. I appreciate puns. I brought a knife, a deep cut. Never mind. Tonight, later at night. I have more. Since you enjoyed that one so much, would you like another one? That song really gets to the point. There they are, 2 of them. That's all I needed. We can carry on now. I just needed 2 people to laugh. And now I feel validated. I love puns and I always do them, and then I like look at Ben and I'm like, did you catch it? And he's like, I caught it.
Got it.
He doesn't care.
All right, let's see if anybody knows whose song this next one is. I ain't got nobody hanging around my doorstep. I ain't got no loose change, just hang around these jeans. If you see somebody, would you send them over my way? 'Cause I could use some help here with a can of pork and beans. I once had a family, but they up and left me with nothing but an 8-track, another side of George Jones. Yeah. See, I was in high cotton, just banging on the 6th string, kicking that trash can, walking skin and bones. Well, I can see your back porch if I close my eyes now. I can hear the train tracks through the laundry on the line. I'm thinking it's your business, but you don't gotta answer. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime. Everybody's out there climbing in the trees now, swinging in the breeze now. You know they're hanging from the vine. I'm dreaming about a sailboat. Well, I don't need no fur coat, 'cause underneath the dashboard I got the sweet potato wine. Well, I can see your back porch if I close my eyes now. I can hear the train tracks through the laundry on the line. I'm thinking it's your business, but you don't gotta answer. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime. Yeah. I can see your back porch if I close my eyes now. I can hear the train tracks through the laundry on the line. I'm thinking it's your business, but you don't gotta answer. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime.
Who do you think sang that one?
Any guesses?
Yeah.
John Prine. Well done.
You're on fire.
That's on the latest CD he came out with is The Tree of Forgiveness. Yeah. Well done. I love John Prine. Well, we don't play this song too often in our sets, but it's also a tune off the vinyl over here. We live in Nashville, Tennessee, as we mentioned earlier, and we've lived south of downtown Nashville, about 10 minutes south, for 12 years now. About 12 years in the same neighborhood. And even though we're not in Nashville very much these days, when we were in Nashville a lot more, I took a lot of walks in our neighborhood. I'd be out there several times a week patrolling the streets. And I remember one time I walked out our front door and I went down the road and I took a left on the next road. And I saw our neighbor out there. He was sitting in his yard in a metal folding chair underneath a tree. And I waved at him. I said, "Hey, neighbor, what's going on?" And he came out to the edge of the road, and he stood on the grass, and I stood on the road there. And he told me that his name was Terry, and I introduced myself. My name is Ben. My wife is Cassie. And he asked me where I live at, and I said, "I live in that white house right over there. It's a white brick house. You can see it from here." And he went on to tell me he was a Vietnam veteran. And he told me a few other military tours he'd been on. And he always ended his conversations by saying, "Well, don't let me keep you." And so he said, "Well, don't let me keep you." And I went on the rest of my walk. And then it wasn't but a few days later, and I walked out the front door, and I walked up the road, and I took a left on the next road. And I saw our neighbor, Terry, out there. And he was sitting on his front lawn in a metal folding chair again. And it kind of shocked me because he came up to the edge of the road again. And he asked me what my name was. I said, "My name's Ben. Me and my wife, Cassie, are musicians." He asked me where we live. I said, "We live in that white brick house right over there. You can see it from here." And he would go on to tell me that he was a Vietnam veteran. And he would tell me the other military tours that he'd been on in his life also. And then he ended his conversation by saying, "Well, don't let me keep you." And so I walked on. And after many walks in our neighborhood, I ended up writing this song about our neighbor Terry. So this one goes out to him. I've been taking a walk down our street a couple times nearly every week, and I've been talking to a man on Willow Lane. He sits out underneath the willow tree, and he tells me about the jungles of Vietnam and a few other tours he's been on. And I pretend not to know. I pretend not to know. In the August heat of 1969, the birds were chopping above the boondock sky. Barrels with a single orange stripe, the traces of dioxin inside. It would be years before we'd fully understand the force it really had upon a man. They pretend not to know. They pretend not to know.
sorry about a situation a couple times nearly every week. I've been having the same conversation with a man underneath the willow tree.
Well, I tell you what, this has been a crazy year for me. We're full-time musicians. We were on tour in Colorado in this past August. And I woke up one morning and I could not sit up out of bed. And I knew something was wrong because nothing like that has ever happened before. And so I ended up getting misdiagnosed twice. And I was in excruciating pain in my pelvis, but I just kept pushing through because we had a couple weeks left of our tour. So we got home in September, and it came back because it was come and go, and it was so bad. So Ben was like, you need to go to the doctor again. So I went to the doctor again, and this time they did some extra testing, and they ended up finding a 9-inch, 6-pound tumor in my left ovary. And it was pretty crazy. It was my 40th birthday, and I was like, that's really rude as a gift. And so everything happened so fast. They thought it could be cancer, and so they wanted to biopsy it, but that thing had to come out because it was rupturing. And so they wouldn't be able to biopsy it until I was in surgery. And so when I woke up, I was told, and I was informed that it was borderline. So they also did a full hysterectomy on me. And so when I woke up, I was like, wow, it was crazy. And so I am fully in menopause. And it sucks. Right, ladies? Sure does. And it's just nuts. But anyways, that's why I've been up here sweating. I'm like, it ain't even hot. And I'm just like, hot. But that's also why I like probiotics, because now I care about stuff, because I be caring, you know. I care now. But anyways, I tell you all that because, first of all, we need to talk about things, because I know everybody, like it happens a lot, but nobody I had ever known had ever told me about it, talked about it, nothing. So maybe if I had known something, I would have questioned the doctors more and been like, just do a freaking ultrasound, man. But they did nothing. Anyways, so I'm really grateful to be here, and it just kind of just reshifts your focus, and things that you thought matter do not matter, you know? I'm just grateful to be able to do what I love with the one I love. And it's an honor, you know? I'm also happy to say there is no cancer. I go back every 3 months. I'm going back in a couple of weeks. I have to see him for the rest of my life, and no cancer. I'm doing great. But the funny thing about it is, like, you can't make this stuff up. I was about to go into surgery, and it was me and my brother and then Ben in one room. And the anesthesiologist had given me the goods, and so I was feeling good. And then they were rolling me back, and as they were rolling me back, they started playing our music on their phone, and they were dancing, and it was like all the nurses were dancing to our music, and I was like, that's really cool. Like, I might die, but I'm gonna get some new fans on the way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, follow us on Instagram, girl. I was feeling real good. My mama would have been proud because I was telling them all about us. But anyways, they were playing this song, and I was like, whoa, can you skip that song? And you can't make this up. And they were like, why? I said, because the song you're playing is called When I Get to Heaven. So this is what I was listening to as I was being rolled back.
When I get to heaven, I'm gonna climb the tallest tree. I'm gonna stay in the up on the clouds just so I can see. I'm gonna lay my head down right on top of your chest. I'm gonna sleep for 5 days straight. I won't be worth for nothing else. When I get to heaven, when I see the light, know it's time for leaving. Well, I'm divorcing this life. We'll be filing all the papers and signing on the line. I've got my affairs in order and Jesus on the main line. When I get to heaven, when I see the light, I know it's time for leaving. I'm divorcing this life. On boulevards of gold, I shall not be in no rush. I'll be leaning in on the table and fill it up on love. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. Jesus, tell him what you want. Jesus, tell him what you want. Jesus, tell him what you want. Call him up and tell him what you want. What you want.
Thanks, y'all. Crazy, right? Can't make this stuff up. We live a pretty fun life. Yeah, it's nuts. So all those songs are on our CDs and vinyls and stuff over here, and I look forward to our new album coming out. We're trying to put one out every year. So this album over here is called One, like, you know, One, and then our next album that's coming out in September is named Two. The next one will be 3. You got it. You're on it. So we don't want you to get confused. We want to make sure people know. Is this gonna be our last song? Okay, we're gonna do one more song for you. John, thank you for having us and opening up your yard and your porch, and just and thank all y'all. Thank you so much for coming out. We're playing tomorrow night in Clinton, Iowa. I think that's like an hour, and it's an afternoon show at 4. So if you did not get enough of us tonight, yes, they're coming for sure, but you can come to that too. But anyways, we'd love to connect with you and meet every single one of you. I don't take it lightly because there's a lot of places you could be, and so thank you for spending your night with us. We really appreciate that. So come up and say hello and hang out with us and be our friend.
I was walking the road alone. I stumbled on the stumbling stone. My shoulders suffering a heavy load. I stumbled on the stumbling stone. Glory to God in the highest, for He has done great things. But men of earth are stripped to silence when they behold the King. Every seed that I had sown fell upon the stumbling Glory to God in the highest, for He has done great things. But men of earth are stripped to silence when they behold their King. They behold their King.
Thank you so much. We are Goldpine. Come up and say hello. And get popcorn. There's popcorn. And leave me some of that meat back there.